Dawless acid techno production. That's today's video. Let's go do it right now. Hey, what's up? I'm in a low kitchen and thank you for checking out yet another video. Now, if this is your first time here, don't hesitate to click subscribe, hit that notification bell, because whenever I upload a new video, you'll be kept in the loop and you won't miss out on anything. Stay tuned to the end of this video. I'll tell you all about Discord, Patreon, and all that good stuff. I'll tell you about this month's challenge, and I will reveal what next month's challenge is because I'm very excited. It's going to be off the chain. Stay tuned for that. Music you can find on Bandcamp. You can also support this channel by enlisting and becoming a channel member. Channel memberships are up as well as those super chats, so keep them coming. It's much appreciated. Thanks. When you say acid house, one name comes to mind: DJ Pierre. The year was 1985. Now, obviously, he has really embraced the TB303. There are so many clones. I will not get into how many clones there are. I've done videos on the matter before, but today, what is the difference between acid house and acid techno? Acid house coming from America, Chicago, DJ Pierre tweaking the knobs in real time. So it was not like that 303 thing didn't exist before, but in conjunction to having a 909 drum computer and wielding those acidy knobs, or the resonance and the filter in real time, that is what made acid house. It flew over the pond, landed in Europe, and in Europe sometimes things get a little bit more aggressive, you know, that's how it goes. So acid house now quickly became acid techno. So the tempo went up, the sound got a little bit more aggressive, so the 303 got like over distorted. And what happens is, on modern day 303s, most of those things that happened by accident back in the 80s and 90s, that's something that comes with the box. So looking at the reissue, the TB303, it has an overdrive knob and it has some reverb and delay on it. I'm mainly using the delay. So today I will get into my kind of acid techno. So if you are ready, fasten your seatbelt, buckle up, let's go do it. Now, before I start, I will make some patterns on the 909. This is the first one. This is the second one. This is the third one. We'll go to 4. Okay, we'll go to 5. So I'm on 4, 5. I will play it first. Then I'll say instrument select. I'll go for the clap. Nice. I think I will add a snare drum to this as well, or shall I? Let's stop it. Go to 6. On 6 we'll go for the snare. So we'll say instrument select, snare drum. Hit it harder so we get a little bit more of a adrenaline going. Stop. Okay, now we're going to copy this over, so we'll say 7. So go copy 6, enter. Now there you go. So 7 is playing that as well. A bit irresponsive, but hey, it's an old machine. So what are we going to play here? We are going to play an open hat maybe. So instrument select, close hi-hat. Nice. Nice. Instrument select, close hat. Nice. Yeah, I'm liking that. I think I'm going to take the ride out for this pattern maybe. So I'll stop it. I'll say, now let me play it first because otherwise I can't get this thing right. Instrument select, the ride. There you go. I will enter the crash in, crash. So very Joey Beltram-like. Nice. We'll stop this. We'll go to, where are we? Okay, so. Yep. All right, pattern. Nice, pattern 4. Pattern 5. Pattern 5 needs to change. So I'll select a snare drum, shall we? Let's see, pattern 5, yeah. Select the snare drum, which is here. Put an accent there. That, boom, nice. Cool, that's pattern 5, pattern 6. Right symbol, I will take it out here. And I think I can, yep, let's do it like this. 1, 2, 1, 2. Ho, 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 yeah, still recording. Yeah, nice. And we'll stick an open eye over there. So we'll put it like this. Go back to the close. Yeah, we got a bit of a thing going. Now, what have we got acid-wise? Let's hear it. Let's see what we have. Nice, okay. Yeah, I think that I am set. Okay, now that I've got my patterns some sort of finished, I will just put this one in play mode. So now, if I'm playing my 909, I got my yeah, and pattern 8 is exactly my drum roll pattern. So I will go in and I'll say shift enter, so, and then I'll play. Cool, so pattern 7 needs to get copied, so I'll go 8, shift, I'll say copy, 7, enter, so 8 plays. The same thing, we'll go to instrument select when we play it, instrument select, bass drum, take the kicks out, and the snare drum, that's where we select snare drum. Yeah, nice, liking that. And then pattern 16 plays, and then we'll clear this pattern. So we'll say clear, pattern 16, clear, shift, clear, enter. Okay, let's do it manually, you know what I mean? So what we'll do, we'll go in, we'll say play. Okay, so what we'll do is get a different pattern going, 7 for instance. Nice, so we'll say 16, shift, copy 7, enter. So now we've got the same thing here. So, and then we'll listen to that. Instrument select, snare, bam. Okay, closed head. And the right cymbal, obviously, right, out, out, and we'll go for the rim shot. So, and there's one right playing. Oh, is it? No, cool. So 16 is always going to be my blank pattern. So obviously, if I am playing, nothing happens. Hey, what's that? No, stop, shift, wait, play it, instrument select, rim shot. Go away. So 16 is always going to be my blank pattern. So I'll go to with acid. So that's my breakpoint. So now that we've got everything sorted, this is my plan. I will make a TB303 line. I think that this is going to be the one that I'm going to work with. First, I'll take off the overdrive because let's all start very moderately. Now, I will get into something that someone told me as well. It was tough. He had a question. Let me put that question on screen.
Hi everyone, it's Tough. I'm there for the Q&A topics coming from the Analog Kitchen Discord community. First of all, I would like to thank you again, Lucien, for all the knowledge you share to us. It's a golden mine to me. My question of the day, it's about leveling from a starting point when I'm making a new track, because I don't get a stereo compressor at the end of my signal. The question is really how to manage in terms of clarity, frequency balances, and keep the power through that. Thanks for the answer, and see you all on the after party chat video on Discord. Bye bye.
Interesting question. Level wise, how do you structure all the sounds to be something that works? Now first, let's start with the pattern that we have. Let's start with the 909 first, so you know what my process is. I've got my mixer over here. It's the L12 live track. That mixer needs something to, it needs to be spaced out a little bit. So listening to the kick drum, that's my asset, listen to the kick drum here. This kick needs to consist of a few things. Now this is a listening exercise that I would like you to really get into. The BPM is 133, so I'm pretty paced. So when the tempo is pretty high, I will not opt to go for the longest of decays. Now you hear boom, 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 or something like that. Excuse me for my strange analogy. But what I would want is the sound of the kick to stop a little bit ahead of when the next transient is going to start. This creates a little bit of breath in between the sounds. Very important. So think of it as you checking out a big desert and you're looking for boulders. If the boulders are just like spaced behind each other, you'll see a nice row of borders, but it's better if they'll, instead of all being linked together, they all are separated like that. So I like my sounds to be a bit percussive. Make sure that you don't shorten it to the point where you don't have any bottom end anymore. So this has got a lot of low end. This has just basically got the initial transient at the start. So find a basic middle ground. If you don't know what a middle ground is when you're listening to it a cappella like, try the main subject of where you're going. So by this time when I've got my kick, think this sits neatly within the mix. This needs to be always audible. This needs to be the one sound that you will always hear. Because if you can hear it clearly on a moderate volume, either on great headphones or on something like great speakers, this is what you need to hear all the time. Now when I add my acid, let's take the overdrive out as well, and let's go for a basic sort of sound. Now when I'm listening to this sound, can I hear all the notes clearly? And there needs to be a sort of like an in-between bracket of where you want the sound to live. So on the bottom end, does it feed the kick drum, and are sounds starting to clash with each other? Here, if I would enhance the sound a little bit, I could get in trouble. This low kind of content is cool if I was to only use this as a bass machine, for which it was originally intended. This thing was made for bass players who needed a little bit electronic in their life to just like play this together with a 606. That was how Roland initially brought it into the market. It failed, and bass players thought it was just too cumbersome to program, so they switched it up. And here we are somewhat years later making acid house music. So obviously this needs to sit on top of the kick. Now I have to say, those two things, Roland have married those sounds back in the days very, very cool together. Now you would stick it in a DAW, you put a plug-in and a compressor and a sidechain or whatever on it, but back in the days it was just the kick drum and the sound. It needed to be great out of the gate. So I do think that when I'm listening to the kick, what I explained it to you, let's lengthen the decay here. Now you hear that there's another note, boo, 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 boo. And it starts to almost marry the TB303 sound. So what you would want is the sounds to be independently spaced from each other. So that's why decay comes in handy. The longer a sound is, the more it's going to start tamper with another sound that's playing. So obviously, we're going to shorten it back to where it was and make meant to find a middle ground between long note and bass kind of vibe. So I think now that this is cool. If you're a stickler, it's on 2 o'clock. The knob's on 2 o'clock. I want this to be a great sort of like leading synth because we're making acid house. I will still add some more notes to it and play different things because I've got my MPC taking care of MIDI for the subsequent, for the Tetra, as well as for the Minitaur over here. And I've got a SH101 that's going to enter the equation in a second. Now, obviously, well, I liked it actually. Yeah. Cool. I can imagine when you're on a dance floor that this could work, yeah? Now everything is very mono because there's no effects and everything comes out of the center, even though I've got like stereo outputs on this TB303. You won't hear any stereo information unless I add a few effects to it or an effect to it. So let's start by adding a little bit of space. So things are starting to become a little bit more interesting. I won't open up this thing immediately. A lot of stuff that I see people do is that they will just, they'll just throw stuff in like boom, like instantly, like. And I don't want to make any cheesy analogies here, but when you cook, nothing to do with Analog Kitchen, but when you are cooking, you won't throw salt or pepper in just like, you have to go in moderately. So, oh my God. Another cable went to bust on the TB303. It's my curse! Anyway, so listen to this effect. So you can imagine now that if we are going to enhance the sound, we're just going to leave the kick where it is. But also, because we got delay on this sound, mind you, even those notes are low, the low end content will now get smeared out over a longer duration within the pattern. So you have to be careful as well to make sure that you choose timings that will enhance the sound and not smear out low end frequency content. So if I've got my filters low like this, I will not enter a lot of delay in there because it will just smear out the sound. It will become a little bit more apparent when we start to add a little bit more resonance in there. Now you hear the low end content moving away from the bass drum, and let's overdrive the sound a little bit more. Now that I know I've got a ballpark sort of like idea of what I can do with the filters for the start of my track, I think it's time to introduce some more sounds like so. Nice. Now this is my second pattern on the on the 909, TR909, nothing TB here, the TR909. I've got a side stick or a rim shot as you call it, and a close hi-hat. Now what I love Let's lower the delay a little bit on the TB303. As you can hear, this close hi-hat is just giving you a boogie of where I think stuff could go. If it's later in the night or I want to add more adrenaline to it, what I would do is open the channel, the close hi-hat decay. And instantly this tells me, okay, you hear? You can add more distortion now. So keep that in mind. Opening up the close hi-hat on a TR-909, it gives a little bit of a distortion kind of feel. So in the distortion on the high-end content that's in here now resembles a little bit the same frequency or some transient frequency of this hat. So those two go together. So keep in mind, if you only had these sounds to work with, this could build tension. You know, I've got my kick spaced out separately on the mixer right here. Take out the kick and open up the filter. Play with the delay a little bit. That's how I do it. So it makes a little bit of an impact without doing much. Okay, now that I've got this sorted, I'm thinking, okay, I need more drums, yeah? That's it. Kick out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next pattern, here we go. You gotta like it. Boogie. Next pattern. Play with the ride. If I was making melodic techno, I will pitch my ride somewhere where it will sit within the chord of the track that I'm doing. But for this sound, I can go a little bit more rudimentary and make it a little bit more crazy. Okay, as I told you, I've got a blank pattern on 16. Let's make a break. And I think that I forgot to take out the hand clap on my track 16, which is cool. I can just lower it here. Now I'm thinking I will go and play with my SH-101. Let's see what the SH-101 can give us, shall we? I'll go here. Play around with my headphone cable because come on! All right, so. Pitch it a little bit better. Okay, now what I will do is I will play something. Let's play something of a Stranger Things kind of ARP, yeah? All right, put it in play. Now we've got another sequence that will play something like this. Nice. Go for the kick drum here. Nice. And then you build up your sequence again. Take out the kick, 2, 3, 4, go to pattern 3. Straight in. I'll lower this a little bit so that everything gets their own kind of vibe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, I've got my small Behringer mixer over here, on which I have the Tetra, Minitaur, the subsequent, and the SH101. So they're all going to go through the octatrack, on which I can make more drama even. Nice. Nice. As you can hear, you can make a lot of drama that way. So there's another trick that I got. So this acts now as a summing mixer. Now let's see if we can play certain notes here. This is the Minitaur, by the way. Okay, let's start this. I hear strings playing. Nice. Let's take those strings out. Previous track, so let's delete the strings that I have. Go in. Nice. Jupiter 8 strings, ladies and gentlemen. Gotta love it. Nice, for some atmosphere. Go back to the Minitaur. Nice. Okay, I'll go in. 1, 2, 3, in. Bam, 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 bam. Cool. Got my sequence. Goes. Nice. Now the trick with the Minitaur now is to set and forget it, right? So we're going to nice. Nice. Okay, kick out. 1, 2, 3, 4 different patterns in, like. Oh, nice. Kick out. 1, 2, 3, back in. Okay, so far I'm liking where this is going. So let's recap. The first thing that we do, we'll just make sure that we get sounds to work together. That's how I'm doing it. Now the Tetra is got something as well, so let's see what that plays. And somebody noted that I'm always playing C minor. Well, it's not, but I am transposing it to C minor because those are the notes that I can easily play. That's so I'm always transposing the track somewhere where it's easy for me to just manage. Yeah, those strings that I heard, I liked them. Now, in the grand scheme of things, I love a little bit of that old school kind of Detroit vibe where they use strings on acid techno as well. There's a few tracks that had like pads on them. So let's see if I can get something going. So first I'll go in with my TB3. Mean sounding. Let's change the waveform. Funny enough, this thing works the other way around, right? So if I'll stick it on a triangle wave or on a saw wave actually, when the overdrive is off, it's a bit more aggressive than the round nature of the square wave, right? But as soon as I hit the overdrive, the square wave, having more transients as a waveform, sounds a bit thicker, so keep in mind. So go in, have a nice bass, sort of like bass vibe. So you hear it if I play it low. Yeah? Okay, let's go. We're gonna go in, we're gonna play our 909, like so. Like so. You can hear it very clearly now. So, I'm going to add more adrenaline. I'm not going to add more drums in, but just more adrenaline on this thing alone. So if you want to work one thing, if you've got one machine and you were to play a longer set with one machine, check this out. First, I'll lower the filter a little bit. The envelope modulation is very, very nice because the track becomes a little bit more percussive, the sound. Bum, do, 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 do. So the letter D in the attack starts to enter now. Do, 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 do. And this is. So when you play a lot of sounds together, envelope modulation is going to have your sound stand out. Okay, I will put in a little bit of overdrive. We'll switch to the saw wave. And from the minute I start to enter my overdrive a little bit like on 11 o'clock, I'll switch over here. Listen to that, all those overtones. It just invites you to play a different pattern, doesn't it? Nice. Cool. Now let's see that bass line that we played. Let's see if that works with the Minitaur or something like. And I can hear that it's not quantized. So let's take care of that, shall we? On. Let's do it. That's better. Bam, 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 bam. Now I've got another synthesizer that I'm going to invoke a little bit of call and response with, because the Minitaur as I said is a kind of a set it and forget it kind of vibe. Nice. Different pattern here. So the trick is to work the other way around. Have your drums do something else than, for instance, the music. Usually it's like the drums are static and the music is like playing everywhere. With this kind of sound, it's the other way around. The drums need to have the swing and the patterns that you play are playing similar kind of vibe. Now let's head over to the subsequent and see what we can find over here. So you can see it's in a different key. Transpose it. So it was on 2, now it's on 6. Okay. What I will do is I will shorten this note, because as you can hear it was very long. So the release is all the way to infinity. I will just shorten it because I need shorter notes for this. Now what you will hear is the boom. So clearly on this TB303 line, you can hear that the accents are towards the last measure of the bar. 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 4, that's where the accent is. So what we would want to do now is stick something in the lower region of this note. So when the first place, boom, 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 boom. So what we're going to do is maybe. Let's see what we can do. Let's go in. Record it in. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 6, 7, 8. Go in. I can do a better job like that, can I? Yeah, undo. So 1, 2, go in. Okay, I got it. So I'll stick my sequence on. Did I record it? Oh, really? Yeah, there you go. Nice. Cool, that's better. Woo. So I'm trying to keep it simple. Play something with the strings, something like. Oh, you're gonna love it. Cool. 2, 3, 4, back in. Oh, yeah. We're going 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, and. Nice. Do you see how much happens if you turn it off? So now I've got my whole sort of like atmospheric track built around this vibe. Let's play this and take the rest out. I'll mute the strings and go back in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Now I will reset my SH101. All right, record this. Now I'll record it, do it better. All right, see what happens here. Oh, nice. Put a little bit of noise on there. You're gonna like it, man. All right, nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you go. Nice one. See, everything in the same pattern. So the strings are just making a little bit of a bridge. I'm still on the same pattern. Make a little bit of the portamento out here. Lower the SH101. Nice. Go back to mine. Nice one. Okay, I still got one more synthesizer. And just for the sake of, why not? Let's see if we can use that one as well. Which is the Tetra. Lower this one here. I'll go to my subsequent. Nice. Subsequent going through the Strymon Blue Sky. All right, so what we got? Let's go here. Ah, we got it. Oh, no, not like that. Undo. 2, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4. Wow. I'm liking it. Yeah, nice one. And this will work with the course that I have as well. You know how very important that Minitaur is. Listen to this. Now this is the only one that plays a note, the subsequent one. Back in. See how handy it is to have your patterns all laid out so you don't have to think about it, you know? Go in. Ah, rock and roll! Take out, back with the kick. Nice, okay. Now that I got everything sorted out, now you can see how the multi-clock is very handy. So you've got multiple things that you can wield. Now there is a hybrid way of thinking. Certain things I like to sequence and I want to play them in. For instance, like the strings that I was playing, which obviously if I go to the strings over here, the Jupiter strings, I'll put them in solo. Now that's the only thing that's going to play. So I've got like sort of a breakdown that I can play here by playing track 2. All of a sudden everything becomes a little bit more mysterious. We'll lower our acid, take out a little bit of that overdrive, put it back on 11 o'clock, put a little bit of the feedback on, and slowly we're going to introduce our 303 bass line on track 4 on the multi-clock, like so. And the thing is, hide it in the background. The strings are the blanket here, the pads, and just come out of the dark. I'll mute this one. I'll take out the tetra and take solo off. Nice one! Ah, you gotta like it. Well, obviously this is my kind of approach to how I think something like this could work on a dance floor, right? But the thing is, you always have to find out, like, you know, do I want to start with the pads? Do I want to start with one arpeggio here? Do I want to start with one arpeggio here? A lot of people debate that the SH101 can do pretty much almost the same thing as the Roland TB303, but those things do different things. This one is, in my mind, something where I can set a frequency and leave it there and just like change it gradually later on, because it's got such a characteristic sound. This is just a wild machine. It's all over the place. Listen to this. Come on, man. You know what I mean? So out of the gate, this thing, envelope. So there's not a lot of machines that can be this versatile. Then again, this is a sound that has been, you know, it has been done and sometimes a little bit overdone. So you need to be careful in how you want to use it in modern day music. I will space my sounds out in a way that I will just look at it from a mixing engineer's perspective. So the sounds need to make an impact, otherwise they shouldn't be there really. So that's how I use it. So all the pieces of equipment that you see here, they do a task and they will stay within their task. They can lean over to somebody else's task a little bit. Obviously, I'm not using a subsequent for bass. I did today and I did last week, but I'm generally using this for leads. I love the paraphonic nature of it, but that means that this thing now can give me two options if I wanted to play live. Do I want this thing to play drums? It could, and I can make bass drums and every kind of thing with the sound design on it, but I don't think that I need that if I've got this sitting over here. So this is my drums doing drum rolls and everything. Set it, forget it, make the patterns, play it. It's very... You know what I mean? Come on, what can I tell you? And I just literally made a few patterns, so that is cool. So we've got these two things that will just like sequence themselves. You just program them and just leave. This is one sequence and it goes. This one, you can play different banks, different sounds. I'll just opt to go with the one pattern because I will build my music around this. I don't want this thing to be a soloist instrument to the point where it needs to play like 5 solos. You know, it's cool, but this is more of a, you know, it plays a certain thing and sets a certain atmosphere, and I'll change the filters, and then this does the same thing drum wise, and then here is where I'll just get crazy in terms of what I want you to feel, adrenaline or drama or emotion like, and that's how you just set it up. And then you got your effects section over there where you can basically just add a little bit more room, space, or whatever you would like to do. Now this is my approach to an acid house jam. I didn't really overthink it. I just played around with all the different pieces of equipment that I have, that I like, that I love. If you've got a different idea or you've got a way of doing your stuff, let me know in the section below. Yeah. And I'd like to welcome Pat Labine, or Pat Labine, how do I pronounce it? I hope I didn't massacre that name, as the new patron for this week. You can support me on patreon.com/Analog Kitchen. I'm doing a few things, but mainly one of the things that everybody really seems to get into, and which I think is a really cool thing, is head out to Discord. Discord is a bridge that is connected to Patreon. So Patreon is a support platform where you can actually support me, just making like tunes, making better videos for you, and you can get a little bit closer. You know what I mean? So if you want to make music, you want to do some cool stuff, we can actually just hook that up. So I've got different tiers on Patreon. The The cheapest one being, I thank you for getting me a coffee each month, which is cool, thank you for that. And the higher tiers is like, you get in touch, we make some music, and we will release it either on vinyl or we'll just release it on certain labels. I've got like DJ Pierre's label, Effervescent involved. I've got like the late Paul Johnson's label, One Love Records also involved, so it's absolutely amazing. So, and there's a challenge this month. This month it was like electro funk, right? So you've got another, some sort of a week, some few days to complete that challenge. Next month's challenge though, we're going to get into some old school kind of vibe, yeah? Johann Sebastian Bach, I'm gonna get you some samples. I'm gonna get you some spoken recitals because he has recited a few things as well. He's written some lyrics. We're gonna get into that. So you can actually make a remix for that. In Dordrecht, where I am right now, where I record these videos, it's in Holland, it's just a bit south of Rotterdam in Holland, we do a Bach festival. So there's going to be a stage where people actually perform. I will do a live set together with classical musicians like violinists and everything, and I'll perform with certain excerpts of certain tracks out of the Bach, sort of like, out of his long list of tracks that he has produced, which is a cool thing. Now, obviously, if you live the other side of the world, you won't be able to attend. So I have got Pioneer involved as well. So the online community can just do some stuff. I'll get you the samples. If you win, you'll get a nice headphone by Pioneer. You'll get like a one-on-one with me. I'll help you out. I'll mix your track. We'll do a few things that are really cool. But the people that are in Holland or in the vicinity of Holland and can make it here, if you win, you get a spot on stage and you get to perform your Dawless sort of like thing. Or the runners-up can do remixes for it. And it also will be a release either on vinyl or just a release on one of the labels that I just previously mentioned. Now that the challenges. So it is a Discord thing. It is a Patreon thing. So head over to patreon.com/Analog Kitchen. Now I hope that you really enjoyed this vibe. If you made it this far into the video, you are an absolute superstar. This is my way of getting into this kind of flow, into this kind of vibe. I love my acid. I love my TB303. It has been on the back burner for a while, but as you know, a setup like this grows and it migrates and it just morphs into different things, and that's what I love about the Dawless aspect. You throw another box into the equation and the sound might change, differ, or it gives you new insights. If you've got more questions than answers, that's never a good thing, so get in touch. Do leave a comment in the section below, and if not anything else, you on the other side of the screen, I guess I'll see you next week on another video. Analog Kitchen, out!